Good morning, everybody. Welcome. You all pretty much should be familiar with who I am, but in case you're new to my webinars, I am Tamika Williamson, Coach T, best-selling, multi-award-winning author, best-selling author. Hey, Penny, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. I, focus on helping parents send their kids to college for free. And I thought it was important to cover a segment dealing with the Equifax data breach. If you followed any of the Crush College Debt videos in the month of August, we talked about student loans, we talked about credit and the importance of students having good credit and the impact of that. And so the data breach being made public last week, it caused some red flags for me, and it should cause red flags for you all. Hey, Keith. So I wanted to share this video in case you all were not thinking at that level. The focus has been on us as individuals as consumers to take action, protect our credit, here are the things to do, and etc. But we are not thinking about it from our kids' perspective, getting them ready for college. And I want to highlight those crucial points because it's important to protect their credit as well. In case you've been sleeping under a rock and you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I'm just going to give you the Cliff Notes version and you can go and research it later. But basically, Equifax had a data breach of their system. And Equifax is one of the credit organizations where we go to find out our credit score. That means they house the most sensitive information about us. Now, when I say sensitive information, I'm talking about social security number, date of birth, credit history, security passwords, security answers to reset our passwords, and all of that information, driver's license number, everything a person needs to steal our identity. They have that information, and that information was breached. Now, we found out about it last week. The problem is this happened somewhere around, I think it was around mid-May. I think the firm discovered the breach, according to reports, around mid-May. And they waited about 6 weeks. 6 weeks before letting us, the public, who are the impacted parties, know about the data breach. As a result, they've offered free credit monitoring for a certain period of time. You could go to the website to see if you are impacted, and from there, it gives you instructions. Well, let me just kind of caution you. I did go and check to see if I was impacted, but after doing further research, it's being discovered that regardless of what information you put in, you can make up a social security number and name and put it in, and it will say that you've been impacted. There lies problem number one. Problem number two is when you do register, it guides you, it gives you a date when you can sign up for their credit monitoring service. So let's think about this. The company who was breached with our sensitive information is now offering us free credit monitoring service through their company. That sounds a little suspicious to me, and it doesn't sound logical in terms of a next step, at least for me. Your information was already breached, released in the hands of hackers or whomever, people who mean us no good, and you want us to trust you for credit monitoring? I don't think so. So we need to kind of think through that whole process, and I'm going to give you some steps before I close out the webinar. But hopefully you have not already signed up for their credit monitoring service. Because if you did, here's the problem with that. They know that most people will not read the fine print. The fine print in signing up for Equifax credit monitoring system, program, whatever they call it, is that there's a great chance you are giving away your rights to sue them. There's already a class action suit being pursued as we speak. By signing up for the credit monitoring services through Equifax, that could basically negate your opportunity to be part of the class action suit, and you would have to seek individual litigation. I forgot what the wording was, but I read it, and it basically takes away your right. So I caution you in terms of taking that action. Use a third-party credit monitoring service to protect your credit. That's going to be the best bet. But I mean, after I thought about it, when I put my information in, I'm glad it was a delay in being able to sign up for the service, because it did make sense. I already have my credit monitor, but I'm actually going to take some additional steps to make sure it is no longer impacted. So that's pretty much what happened. Now let's talk about this from a college perspective, because that's where I really want to draw your attention. From a college perspective, you know, our kids, we're talking about getting them college and career ready. And one of the focuses when it comes to helping them get ready for college is looking at how they can go after scholarships and so forth without any student loan debt. Well, I don't advocate student loans, but I know that it's happening. Yes, we're trying to prevent it as much as possible, educate the population, the public, around how to best approach college so that it is affordable, so that your child can go for free. Knowledge definitely is power as we talk about college admissions. But in the event you are looking at taking out a loan as a parent to help fund your child's college, your credit is going to be the hinge point of that decision-making process. If your credit is impacted as a result of this breach, that can cause problems in terms of your ability to get a loan. You may be counting on getting a loan to help cover your child's tuition, but you didn't protect yourself, or you waited too late to protect yourself, and now you have fraudulent accounts in your name, and that is preventing you from getting a loan to help fund your child's college. That's why we need to have this conversation. The other side of that is your child's credit could also be at jeopardy. I didn't think about this until listening to one of my sorors, who's a financial credit expert, and her whole platform is all about no debt. She talked about how many kids under the age of 18, credit is already impacted, and they don't realize it until it's too late. Because we don't think to check our kids' credit score while they are still kids and under our roof. But they are also prime targets for identity theft. Who would have thought this? Now, we also have situations where people put utilities and things of that nature in their children's name or somebody else's child's name because they got access to the information, and that messes up their credit as well. So we need to protect not only our credit, but we also need to protect our kids' credit, because it can impact their opportunities in the future. I'm talking about college and career ready, so let's transition and fast forward to the career side. Let's say your child gets through college. Well, while they are in college, it's going to be important for them to get summer interns so that they can land a full-time job after graduation. Well, one of the requirements for majority of the companies out here is a credit check, especially government entities, financial entities, where you're dealing with sensitive information. A credit check is going to be part of the hiring process. So if your child has bad credit, that will prevent them from getting a job. Now, with this credit breach, they have access to all our sensitive information. It doesn't mean they're going to act on it now. They may decide to wait 18 months. Because you think about it. Right now, everybody's on alert. So everybody's watching. 12 months from now, we're not going to think about this. We'll be distracted with other things. So if I was a criminal, I'm not, but I've learned to think from a criminal standpoint. One, when I used to manage stores at Home Depot, you had to learn how to think like a criminal because you needed to figure out, okay, how is somebody going to come and steal from you this day because you're responsible for their P&L. So I've always thought and trained my mind from that experience to think from the perspective of those who mean me no good. That's what I call risk management of myself, of my business, and in the organizations that I work in. So this is what you have to do now and forever, really going forward, because again, they got access to our most sensitive information. So they may not use it now. They may decide to use it later. Later could be 14 months, 12 months, 18 months, 36 months. Who knows? So it's incumbent upon us to do our due diligence and do what we can to protect not only our own credit, but also protect our kids' credit so that they are not impacted by this in a negative way and it thwarts the opportunities afforded to them. So let's talk about what you should do. Here's your to-do item, parents. And let's make sure we're sharing this video. We need to increase the awareness and share this knowledge so that everybody can be protected, especially our kids. They don't know anything about credit. Here's a great opportunity for us to have the conversation and teach them about the importance of good credit, the impact and the ramifications of not having good credit, why it's important to protect their information, not share their information. You know, this generation, everything is digital for them. So they are really not thinking about, all right, I need to protect my social security number. I shouldn't share my password. My password should not be something common that someone should figure out. I shouldn't give it to my friend and let them log into my account. I shouldn't give my friend my PIN number and let them go and get money out of my account. Things of that nature. This is a great opportunity to have this conversation with our kids. You know, I talk about teaching them the value of money and the value of the dollar so that they understand what the true cost of college is and why it's important to make wiser decisions when it comes to selecting a college that is more affordable. Here's an opportunity to expand that conversation and add in the credit piece, walk them through the steps, involve them in the process of these to-do items I am about to give you. This will not only help them and inform them now, but it will also help and protect them later because you're teaching them lessons today that will be relevant and critical in the future. So step number one, here's what we must do as a result of watching this webinar. One, we need to pull our credit report. When I say we, I mean we as parents, as well as our kids. Regardless of how old your child is, pull their credit report. And you're probably thinking, why do I need to pull the credit report of my child right now? Because you want to have a baseline of what your credit looks like now. You know, we talk about baselines in project management, and whenever you're capturing data and you're trying to do a comparison, that allows you to see if there's a variance from where you plan to be versus what actually happened. So that's essentially what you're doing. You're taking a snapshot of what you and your child's credit looks like today so that if something comes up later down the line, you have a point of reference you can go back to say, no, on September 12th, 2017, this is what our credit looked like. I know I did not open this account, this account, this account. My child definitely didn't open these accounts. So these are fraudulent transactions, and we need to take action to get them corrected and get them removed off of our credit reports. So that is why this first step is important. You want to pull the credit report of yourself as well as your kids. You can go to annualcreditreport.com to do that. Annualcreditreport.com. This is something we should do at least once a year anyway, but now it's critical to make sure we do it. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, put a freeze on your credit for each of the credit bureaus. Do it for yourself as well as for your kids. I know it's a hassle, but think about it. Would you rather go through the extra steps when you do need to use your credit versus somebody going free willy and running up your credit in a bad way, opening accounts, getting homes, getting cars, or whatever it is that they do, and they go in default and mess up your credit? Now you have to hire somebody, dispute it, investigate it, and go through that whole rigorous process to get it taken care of. You weigh your options. I say it's worth the extra steps. So put a freeze, and you have to do this for each credit bureau. Each credit bureau. TransUnion, Experian, I can't even think of the third one. But do this for each credit bureau. Equifax. Like, how can I forget them? They're the ones who's causing all these problems now. But go to each credit bureau. I have the links actually posted on my Facebook page. So if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see a post that I shared from my friend Jennifer. And the links are posted there. Click on each link for each credit bureau. Put a freeze on, again, your credit report and your child's credit report. Because what that will prevent from happening is people or any new account being established without you going through the extra verification steps. Now, there may be a cost, a small cost associated with it, but hey, this is an investment in your future. This will save you heartache in the long run. I say it's worth it. So that is step number 2. And then step number 3 is sign up for a credit monitoring service. And I suggest a third-party credit monitoring service. I already have some in place. I'm actually going to look at something like LifeLock or something to that extent, because I want to also get additional alerts that could alarm me that something may be going on fishy as it relates to my account because of the magnitude of the information that was breached. You want to make sure you have like a 360-degree view of your entire credit history and all that goes into it, from the social security number, driver license number, and all those other sensitive data points that was shared in the breach. So these are the 3 steps you need to do today. I know here in Georgia, many people are home. This would be a great time to go ahead and get it done. So let me just do a recap in case you missed it. If you want the additional details to go with it, you're joining late, just make sure you go and watch the replay. So your to-do items, parents: 1, get an annual credit report for you and your child or your children. Step number 2, put a freeze on your credit report, you and your children, at each credit bureau. And then step number 3, sign up for third-party credit monitoring service for you and your entire family. That way you can have access to all that information. And of course, I'll just say again, involve your child in this process. Excuse me. Use this as an opportunity to educate them on credit, the importance of credit. Let them know what you're doing, why you're doing it, so that they are now aware and they will learn the lesson in the process as well. This is how this impacts your child's college opportunities. We don't want to do anything that jeopardizes their college and their career opportunities. So this is what you're going to need to do as a result of the Equifax credit breach. So I got to get out of here. It's been great. I hope you found this information helpful. If you haven't followed the College for Free Facebook page. Make sure you do that. I have posted, there are some links on there for scholarships. So I'm going to go ahead and put that plug out there. This is scholarship season. I'm going to keep emphasizing this every time I get on a live video feed. Make sure you and your child or your children are looking for scholarships. It's never too early to look for scholarships, but it is a time when it's too late to look for scholarships. If you've watched my videos before, you know that too late means waiting till your child is a high school senior. Wait until your child is a high school junior. Start the process early. Elementary school, middle school, you need to start looking for scholarships. So if you're not following the College for Free Facebook page, make sure you like the page and stay in tune for the different opportunities that are posted there. As well as, if you want to get any of the College for Free University material, you can go to collegeforfree.info. collegeforfree.info, F-O-R, free.info, and you can purchase any of the material as well as schedule a 15-minute free consult if you want to see how I can help you send your child to college for free, like I've done for other families where we've garnered several $1 million in grants and scholarship dollars. Well, this is Coach T. I'm getting ready to get out of here, have some other things to do, but again, I wanted to take a few moments to expand your knowledge and elevate your awareness on the additional factors you should be focusing on as a result of the Equifax breach. Make sure you share it. Give me your comments if you have any questions or thoughts, and I will respond. All right, make it a great day. The time to be ready is not the time to get ready. Your goal is to always stay ready. This is Coach T, and I'm signing out. See you later.